So remember that time that I was investigated by the FBI over making sarcastic tweets? I do. I remember that time because that time was today. Okay, so in order to understand this situation, we have to go back to Friday. Now, Friday, I was sitting in Los Angeles. I was minding my own business. I was eating my breakfast. I was planning on a nice day of going out to lunch with Joshua and then going to a party later that night and then having a meet up with my locals community the next day. And it was just supposed to be chill. It was supposed to be a nice little trip, man. Get a text from my husband. Carlin, the FBI just stopped by the house. It's like, what? Like, why did the FBI stop by the house? And he texted me the FBI agent's information. And so I was like, what? Now, we have to have some context around this. Like, I kind of suspected it was in regards to January 6th because I have been completely public and transparent about my experience in the Capitol on January 6th. But, that's kind of what I expected it was about. So I called the FBI agent. I was like, you're looking for me? He's like, yeah, well, we just have some questions. And I was like, okay, what is this about? And he's like, well, I'd rather not say. I was like, okay, well, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm not in New Hampshire. So, I can't talk to you until I get back. And so essentially I probed a little bit and I found out that someone had made an accusation. Someone has made an accusation against you in regards to January 6th. I was like, oh, here we go. Because here's the thing. I know that there is no evidence of me doing anything wrong on January 6th. I've been completely transparent with you guys. I did not go in the Capitol. I did not engage in violence in any way. I watched what was happening. I made sure I understood, or at least had, from my perspective, what happened. But I didn't do anything particularly notable, and I certainly didn't do anything illegal on that day. But it didn't surprise me at all that some idiot on the internet had reported me because I frankly have a lot of people who hate me, especially on Twitter, the little socialists. I know that there's a whole little group of them that were poring over every video trying to find evidence that I was in the Capitol. And so it really didn't surprise me at all that someone sent something into the FBI. But when the guy said to me, he was like, someone's made an accusation against you about January 6th, I was like, so what I hear is that some idiot on the internet, said I did something, and that's what this is about. And he was like, yeah, basically. And so that was pretty much it for the phone call, and I kind of agreed to meet when I got back, and he was like, the FBI agents were totally nice about the whole thing. So I get off the phone with him, and I'm, sitting there eating my breakfast, and I'm thinking about this, and I'm like, this couldn't possibly be over, I know they have no evidence that I did anything wrong or illegal, so I wasn't worried about that, but I was like, this couldn't possibly be about tweets. The FBI is not investigating me over tweets. And so I started thinking about what else could it be? Do they think I have dirt on Brandon, which PS, I don't, because I didn't even see Brandon on January 6th. We didn't even see each other in person, so I had nothing there. Is that what they want? Or is there something else? What was I missing? So basically my next step upon learning that the FBI wanted to talk to me is I had to find a lawyer, because I'm not an idiot and I'm not speaking to the FBI without a lawyer. Yes, I know this is all your very first question. So I immediately started texting around to different people and saying I need a lawyer. And so, I'm very blessed to, of course, have many contacts in the Republican Party in New Hampshire. And so I got a recommendation for a lawyer pretty quickly. Came back home on Monday and reached out to the lawyer and was in his office yesterday, which was Tuesday. And, we talked about what happened and, basically hired him to represent me so that there would be no miscommunication or no trickery involved where the FBI tries to act nice to get me to say something stupid that they can then use against me later. So, and to be really honest, I didn't get the sense that was what was going on, but this is my understanding of the FBI's jam is they pretend to be nice, they pretend to be your friend because they want you to say something stupid, and then they can turn it against you later or try to catch you for lying to them, all that stuff. So I talked about it with a lawyer. The lawyer called the FBI agent and was like, we're representing her, you got to go through me from now on, and basically made an appointment for me to go and talk to them at his office with, of course, the lawyer present today. Well, just got back from that appointment. Here's how it went. The FBI agents, because there are two of them, they come in the room, and they're honestly, I don't hold it against these two particular FBI agents. They were very nice. They were very professional. honestly, they seemed very embarrassed by the entire situation. They seemed very embarrassed that we were even having this conversation. But here's what happened. They came in and they slid screenshots of 2 tweets across the table that I made on January 6th. Now, I happened to make both these tweets. I know exactly when I made them. I made them while I was standing on the Capitol lawn, like where at this point, I was only really seeing people who were there peacefully, who were chanting and waving their flags. I had no idea what was going on in the building. I was just being sarcastic and flip about the whole situation because I had happened to see someone on Twitter. Like, I didn't have really good internet on January 6th. Like, really nothing was getting through at all. But there happened to be a moment where I saw someone tweeting, oh, they're storming the Capitol. And I was like looking around. I'm like, what are you talking about? They're storming the Capitol. Like, because, where I was at that moment, I didn't see any violence. I saw a bunch of people standing around just like any normal rally or protest or what have you, except it was like a lot of goddamn people. And so I sent out a tweet. I said something like, it's not every day you storm the Capitol. Completely sarcastic because I had no idea what was going on in the building when I sent it. And then there was another tweet where like it got through like this one of my former friends started denouncing me on Twitter while I was standing on the Capitol lawn. Just for even being there. And again, like, remember, I had no idea what was going on at this time. And all I was seeing was like someone who I actually thought was like a normal person, like denouncing me for being this disgrace on Twitter because I happened to be there. And like, again, like for me, this really seemed like a peaceful protest. So I retweeted her, frankly, because I wanted people on Twitter to flame her. And I was like, no, this is awesome. Our house, because everyone was chanting like our house, our house, our house. But again, I was referring to, when I said it was awesome, what I meant is that I thought it was awesome, and I've talked about this, many times. I thought it was awesome to see so many people who felt like they've been, like, stepped on and put down and ridiculed by every major institution in this country. I thought it was wonderful to see so many of those people finally finding their voices, because we don't encourage violence ever, but, like, finding their voices, going to a rally, standing up for what they believe in, making sure their elected representatives heard them, because at this point, I thought everything was peaceful. So I fully stand by those things because, most of the it was a mostly peaceful protest on January 6th. So that was it. That was why the FBI was investigating me, was those 2 tweets. One where I sarcastically said, whatever, the thing about like, it's not every day you storm the Capitol, ha 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 ha, which is like obviously being sarcastic because like, dude, like I may have done some stupid shit in my life, but if you look at my Twitter timeline at all, like I hope that you will understand, A, I'm sarcastic as hell on Twitter, B, if I'm actually storming the Capitol, if I was actually going in the building, I'm not going to tweet out that I'm storming the fucking Capitol because I'm not that much of an idiot, okay? So it was that tweet and then the tweet of me retweeting my former friend so you guys would flame her on Twitter and like, make fun of her for denouncing me for just being there. Like that was it. That was why the FBI was investigating me. And then they looked at me and said, Miss Borisenko, did you go in the Capitol on January 6th? And I said, no, I did not. And they were like, all right. That's it. And honestly, like, I was so incredulous about, like, let's just think about this for a second. The FBI, and I'm not talking about these 2 FBI agents. These 2 FBI agents were very, very nice. They were very courteous, very professional. Again, like, they really did seem embarrassed by the whole situation. The FBI is spending resources, spending our taxpayer dollars, investigating people over tweets, over sarcastic tweets. They had nothing else. And I know they have nothing else because, again, like, I know I didn't do anything, but it's like, it boggles my mind that the FBI sent 2 agents to my house while I was gone to ask me about tweets, and then we just had a follow-up meeting. Like, how many resources, how many hours has the FBI spent investigating my Twitter? Like, this is ridiculous. They're literally investigating people over tweets if there is no other evidence that there is any other wrongdoing. And what the FBI agent said too is they were like, yeah, Like, we're having to investigate a lot of stupid stuff. Like, a lot of it's just stupid. And they even said, they were like, listen, this is like your First Amendment right to say what you want to say. And I was like, yes, it is. And they were like, well, maybe Twitter might not see it that way. I'm like, no, but like the Constitution does, so it's cool. Like, it was all very cordial. It was all very nice. But what is so mind-boggling to me about this entire situation is the FBI. Like, how many other people are being investigated over sarcastic tweets? How many thousands, millions of dollars is the FBI spending investigating Twitter? Not Twitter, the company, but people posting on Twitter with no other evidence. Because what they said is, like, they're getting all these tips from people that just seem stupid or seem like they can look at it and say, like, this is not real. Like, people are reporting people for insane things. Like, they said that, like, they talked to one guy whose, like, neighbor reported him because they thought they saw him in a video, but the video was clearly 20 years older than the neighbor. And it was just like, people, like, first off, like, leftists on the internet are being insane and reporting everyone for every minor infraction that they don't like. And the fact that the FBI is having to dedicate resources to investigating tweets? Does that perturb anyone else? I don't even know what to say. Who is making the decision to dedicate resources? And this is like, dude, like, I'm one person in one small state. There were easily 50, maybe even 100,000 people at the Capitol that day. How many people are being investigated for tweets? How many resources is the FBI spending investigating people over tweets when there is no other evidence of any other wrongdoing? So, I am now cleared. So far as I know, there were no other questions. They didn't ask me about anything else, and that's it. I had to hire a lawyer over 2 goddamn tweets on the internet. That was it. So, just want to give you guys an update on the story. Now, what I will say is members of my locals community, they actually started hearing about this last week. So if you really want to get the tea when something's juicy is going on, you really want to get the gossip, you're going to want to be subscribed to my locals community, man. kb.locals.com. The information is somewhere around in this video or in the description. But come on to locals, man, because I've been posting this stuff for my supporters for a minute. When you join my locals, you can join for free, but you can also chip in $5 a month to get access to all the features. You get access to videos ad-free, and it really helped me out. It supports my work. It means I can predict what type of income I'm going to have when people are subscribed for $5 a month. You also get all sorts of perks, like we're doing a book club. We're going to be reading Rules for Radicals this time around. We do 2 Zoom calls a week where people can come on and complain about whatever's going on in their lives. We talk with each other and we support each other. It's pretty awesome. So if you enjoy juicy, gossipy stuff like this, you're going to want to join my locals. kb.locals.com. That's all I've got for right now. Not in jail, despite the best efforts of the leftists on Twitter and the FBI investigating my sarcasm. That's all I got, guys. I'll see you soon.